District Governor Allison, past, present and future officers of Rotary, my fellow Rotarian changemakers. It's with a feeling of great honour and pride that I appear before you today as my year as leader of Rotary in Southern Wales begins. My journey actually started 11 years ago when I was invited to join Pontefraith Rotary. At that time, I knew little about Rotary, other than some limited involvement with youth competitions at my school. Rotary, however, opened up a whole new world for me where volunteering to improve the lives of others is at the centre of all the work we do. Rotary has for over 100 years been setting high levels of responsible service within communities all over the world. And like you, I take great pride in this. I've also valued the friendship and fellowship that Rotary has brought me, with opportunities to meet and work with people from all over the planet. As my tenure begins, I must pay tribute to and thank Alison for leading and guiding the district through what has turned out to be the most challenging year in living history. I know there has been much soul searching, and Alison has had to make many decisions just to ensure that we as Rotarians remain safe and that the name of Rotary has not brought us into disrepute. I thank her for this and also for the support she has given me personally. I know that she will play an active role as a member of the continuity team in the coming year. So thank you, Alison. The International Assembly for me was sadly not enjoying the warmth in Orlando, Florida for 5 days, but spending 3 hours a day for 11 days at my computer screen. This was not the experience I had looked forward to, and of course it gave me no opportunity to mingle with and exchange ideas with Rotarians from far and wide. I did, however, find the experience prepared me well for the task ahead. In his keynote speech, RI President-elect Sheikha Mehta proved to be inspirational. He articulated something that I have found to be a basic truth in Rotary, and that is that we sometimes overlook the reality that a small gesture on our part can make such an enormous difference to someone's life. The key targets that Sheikha set us for 21-22 were to increase membership and, more importantly, to empower women and girls. Membership has been a worrying issue in Rotary for a number of years. Sheikha has tasked us collectively to increase worldwide membership from 1.2 million to 1.3 million. It is a surprising fact that the figure of 1.2 million has remained the same for almost 17 years. I have set a target of opening 2 new clubs and also ensuring that we do as much as we can to retain new and existing members. I know that Julian Pratt, our district membership lead, has been busy with his team and have already started to work on this task. We must recognise that we all have a part to play in expanding membership and must bear in mind that we need to ensure continuity by bringing new members on board. There is also a great deal we can do to empower women and girls. Some might say that this target does not really apply in the sophisticated Western society that we live in. I'm positive, however, that much of what we can do is based on education to eradicate discrimination. We need to work towards a more equal society where opportunities are not limited by gender and women and girls feel safe. My focus for the year will be on 2 strands. Firstly, on young people, and secondly, the environment. It's my intention to put in place a full programme of district competitions for young people. This will, of course, be dependent on where COVID takes us during the year. We should at least be able to encourage entries to the non-face-to-face competitions, such as young writer, photographer, filmmaker, and artist, and also the new environment competition aimed at the primary aged pupils. It's taken a long time for Rotary to put environment in place as its 7th area of focus. We must be seen in the world to be proactive in the sphere of environment. I realise that many clubs already undertake environmental projects, but we need to broaden our attack. To support this, I've decided that as many district meetings as possible in my year will be run on a virtual platform. This will avoid the need to travel, which for all of us means using a polluting petrol or diesel powered vehicle to travel to venues. Despite the fears that COVID pandemic brought, with the sad loss of life for far too many people, this has given us an opportunity to reflect on the way that we do Rotary. I know that most clubs have or are having discussions about the way that they will meet in future. Allied to this is the probable need in some circumstances to make Rotary cheaper for existing prospective members. We have shown over the last 15 months our ability to adapt to new situations and to adopt technologies and working practice that we had never heard of before the pandemic crept up on us. I see here an opportunity for a blended or hybrid Rotary, where some meetings could be on a virtual platform and others face-to-face, when the important aspects of fellowship and friendship can be enjoyed. Change is sometimes difficult to accept, but we must, if we are going to remain vibrant and relevant, change. For those who are uncertain about change, I would recommend reading a very small book by Spencer Johnson called Who Moved My Cheese? Changes have been implemented for 21-22 by Rotary GB&I. Voting at the last annual business meeting confirmed that we no longer have a president of Rotary GB&I. In his place, we have a director, and that's Nikki Scott, and a chair of the association, David Ellis. The composition of the General Council will also change with the reduction in the number of members. I recently heard someone speak of the need to reboot Rotary. I'm not sure I entirely agree with this, as it suggests that Rotary has stopped or at least become dormant. I know that within this district, most clubs have remained active, and many have found ways of generating income and doing great things within their communities. I would also like to see greater support for the Rotary Foundation, our own charity. Over the last few years, contributions have year on year been reducing, but the demand for grants has increased. I know in conversations with District Foundation lead Mark Stevens that he and his team will be working to support clubs in their understanding of the way that foundation processes work. Similarly, we have seen a large percentage drop in our district contribution to the Polio Eradication Fund. I would appeal to all clubs to address this in the coming year. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are now keystones of Rotary. I believe it is important that we collectively work to ensure that our clubs are places where all sectors of society are represented, where people have equal opportunities and feel included. One of the main reasons for people leaving Rotary is that they did not feel welcome. We need to nurture new members, listen to them, and allow them to take active roles early in their Rotary life. New members bring new and fresh ideas. We need to move away from the notion that only certain types of people make good Rotarians. We're all volunteers and come with all sorts of social backgrounds and life experiences. We should not be seen as an exclusive organisation. What we need are people who will roll their sleeves up and get on with a job using a broad range of skills and talents. I would like to see us seek out and find ways of working more closely with and not for our communities. I would also like to see much more collaborative work on joint projects with other volunteer groups. I am aware that some clubs have joined their local association of volunteer organisations to broaden their perspective. We need to be much more visible within society. We've been the best kept secret for far, far too long. And I sometimes wonder that if your club's closed, would anybody notice or even miss you? I believe there's a need to tell our story, the story of the things we do, using a broad range of media. Local press, websites, Facebook, and even talking to people helps get the message across in the public domain and generates awareness and interest in our work. Wearing a pin badge at all times is often a conversation starter that could lead to a prospective new member. Don't forget, you can always rely on District Public Image team led by Maggie Hughes for support. There's also support on training. I was pleased with the format of the district training assembly, but attendance in some important sessions could have been better. One issue that has arisen following the assembly is the need for training on compliance. A strong lesson that COVID pandemic has brought us is the need for risk assessment for all our activities, and also the need to understand the implications of safeguarding when working with children and vulnerable adults. I would like to see all clubs identify a compliance officer who can oversee these issues. My conference this year is being organised as a virtual event. There are a number of technical and social reasons for this. The most important of these has been the difficulty of knowing what stage the pandemic will be at in the autumn. Details will be posted on the district website, but the date is set for the 9th and 10th of October. Well, I think that's enough of me wittering on. I look forward to working with you in 21-22. I would like to end by giving you an assurance that I will always do my best to lead and support you and to represent you in everything that I do. So my Rotary friends, enjoy your Rotary volunteering and have fun as you serve to change lives. Thank you.